Alright, good morning everybody and happy weekend. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic Saturday. We are back in Sim Update 3's beta, and we're on the Xbox Series X version of The Sim, so I thought we would just kind of dive into it. Obviously yesterday we were fully focused on PC. We did a little bit with Xbox, but I was getting hungry, so I was in a bit of a rush, so we didn't really do too much with it. But yeah, so we're on the Xbox Series X. Always like to go to the dashboard just so people aren't like, oh, you're on PC, whatever, you know, all that kind of stuff. So there we go. See? Xbox. Always like to make sure I do that just in case people are like, oh, this isn't Xbox gameplay. So what we'll do is we'll kind of dive through, because what I want to start doing with these betas is kind of going through the forums and seeing things that people are saying is broke and see if they truly are. And also kind of just diving through different stuff and go from that. So what we're gonna do first is, I think we'll just do a nice simple Cessna 172 flight somewhere. By the way, I still need to plug in the my Thrustmaster here. And what I want to also do with this is, all I'm going to have is an Xbox controller plugged in and the Thrustmaster HOTAS 1. That's it. Because I want to just try to keep it there. I don't want to do any side fixes like plugging in a mouse for EFBs, because I just want to see how all of it works with just a controller cursor type thing that's going on here. So that is the goal. And perfect. I think everything's good. Let me make sure the audio is good as well. Here, let's get a mission going. First of all. But yeah, again, hopefully we're just having a fantastic weekend. If you're in Sim Update 3's beta, hopefully you're having a great experience with it. I was doing a lot more with the PC after the stream overnight and into the morning. And it's been running really well. I didn't have any more crashes since the first thing happened. By the way, I can't zoom in right now. Oh, wait, it was about to do it right as I left, of course. It was acting a bit odd. But yeah, funny enough, no more crashing on PC. I was doing a bunch of different stuff with different aircraft, and things were going quite swimmingly on the PC side of things, and hopefully it can be the same on the... I don't know why I can't zoom in. It tries and then it stops. Is it because of... Do I have this on Xbox? I do. So why are you being weird? There we go. I think the peripheral was kind of glitching that out just a little bit. So yeah, let's do a Cessna 172 flight. We'll just kind of do a skydiving thing for a little bit. And make that our starting point for the stream. And then we can dive into other things as well. And of course, like I was saying, I want to kind of dive into the forums and see what major issues people are having, and seeing if we can recreate those as well, so... Excellent. I actually haven't done a skydiving mission in quite some time. I'll also make sure the audio is all good once we get into our lovely 172. At least I think that's what we should be getting into. Start off small, make our way up, test some things out. By the way, let's see if Sim Update 3 has fixed the error code that popped up anytime you brought up the virtual keyboard. Because that'd be nice to see that fixed. Because I know it's still in the release build of Sim Update 2. So we'll see what's going on. First we'll get all this stuff off here. And let's see. I saw some forum posts about the toolbar being missing as well. I don't know, there's just so many things that people bring up that I've never seen. Because the toolbar is working on Xbox and PC. But, let's just get a... Let me add that here. By the way, the keyboard open, no error code. Very nice. We'll try some other areas here. Let's see. Hey, it looks like that error's gone. That's good. Because that was definitely quite of an annoying one for sure, because anytime you open the virtual keyboard, it would give you that error code in career mode, so great to see that's gone. Looks like we got a great frame rate. Load time was very short as well. And just so you know, everything in the Xbox version that we're streaming today is streamed. I didn't bother trying to install anything. Because I did more installation on the PC side of things, and I don't know, it's just... performance has been much better in Sim Update 3's beta so far.
Hey pilot, hope you're in for a nice ride with our two champions of the day. Happy to team up with you. Alright, let's make this a jump to remember. I want to see smiles on those rockstar faces when we're back here.
Kilo Delta November November traffic. CTWN 32 Sierra Alpha Kilo 1611 is taxiing to runway 14. Kilo Delta November November traffic.
Everyone okay?
Great! Best team! Well, as it's your first time with us folks, please focus and strictly follow my instructions.
Alright, audio sounds good. We should be alright on that.
And a shield right. Everybody set?
By the way, I think somebody's like right up next to us here. Hey, how's it going? You guys all crammed in? Lovely. I downloaded everything and seeing improvement on Xbox. Very nice, FMJ. Because I was seeing a post about how, I guess it's not fully functioning yet. But I don't know about that, because I've noticed differences too with installing things and so forth, so... I mean, if it's really not fully involved yet and we're already seeing those improvements, great. I mean, I'm okay with that. But, yeah, so that's awesome to hear, FMJ. Glad you're having better performance there. And again, if you're just joining, all this is streamed. This is not anything installed on the Xbox itself, just because I didn't have any time to do that. I was focused on the PC side of things, but it'll be a good test just to see how it's doing on the streaming side of things. Sorry, I'm doing more audio tests here because it sounds very quiet. I'm not really hearing the 172 much. I'll have to get our lights on as well. Kind of left that alone. And it sounds pretty good there. I think we're hitting a sweet spot for sure. I typically don't stream on the weekends, but I was just kind of in the mood to test some Xbox stuff out, so here we are. Here we are. No, I mean, everything's looking nice, except for no ray trace shadows, which I don't think is a thing still on Xbox, unfortunately. Sadly. You do get exposure compensation EV now, though. That's a new one. Bias the auto exposure value, making picture darker or brighter. So they did add something into the graphics settings, because I know that wasn't there before. But a lot of great detail on the ground, though, that I don't really remember too much of on the Xbox side of things. I mean, there's grass and bushes, and clouds are looking really good, too. Oh, and also, let's go ahead and get our lights on here. See if we notice any differences. Yeah, I mean, I can see them flashing now, which is good. And of course, our taxi light. Because there were some improvements to lighting and so forth in the beta for Sim Update 3, which is great to see, as opposed to the lights really not doing anything on a majority of the planes like we've become accustomed to. Well, yeah, you're not going to be able to carry over downloaded stuff into a previous build just because that build isn't made for it, so it'll definitely break things. So I highly recommend not doing that.
Kilo, Delta November, November traffic, CTWN 32 Sierra, Alpha Kilo 1611. Taking off runway 14, south departure, Kilo, Delta November, November traffic.
Get one notch of flaps in here for takeoff. ATC is so much better in Sim Update 3. I really love the variation, especially at the airports. It sounds so much better. ATC is also a lot better at doing ILS stuff and VFR, IFR. So really happy to start seeing some improvements to the air traffic controllers. I feel like there were some other changes to audio on aircraft too, because my H125 sounds better. It sounds like there's some differences with the 172. It could just be me, but a lot of these aircraft are sounding way better than they were before.
Just a quick heads up. Your drop axis today is into the wind, heading 168 degrees true. Current on-site speed is 4 knots. I've uploaded all the up-to-date data onto your map, just in case. Keeping an eye on everything from here. Keep it steady and see you.
Alright, so are we just heading straight out here, or I don't know. Oh boy. Hello to you! The only thing I can really... Hayek? Probably not anywhere I'm supposed to pronounce that, but welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. Just kind of do that. We're heading to about over here. We'll see what's going on once we turn it around here. And then once we're lined up with that, I'll turn off those boxes. And then we'll get into autopilot and let them kind of make their way on up. And again, throughout this entire stream, I'm just having an Xbox controller and my Thrustmaster POTUS 1. I'm not going to plug in a keyboard or mouse just to see how everything goes with just the default controls with the controller. So bear with me as we try to get this all situated here. That. Heading. Autopilot on, please. Thank you. Oh, heading, please. Sync to that. Thank you. And then we're at 2,200 feet. We're fine for now. It is a bit louder in here just for the fact that, you know, the entire side of the aircraft is missing. So just in case you're wondering, we are in the skydive variation of the 172. It's heading over to the right some more. Hardiman, hello to you as well, and I watched all your recent vids last night about the update. You got my sub. Well, awesome. Thanks for subscribing. Glad you enjoyed the content enough to do that. And happy to have you at a live stream as well. Welcome, welcome. So the 172 is having a hard time with the heading. There's only a 7-knot tailwind going on. Maybe it's finding it right here. There we go. I think it's finally figured out what it's wanting to do. Very good. I'll bring it back a little bit there. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much. I'm glad you all enjoyed the video talking about downloadability starting to pop into the sim finally. I mean, it's been awesome. So glad you enjoyed that video. Over 10,000 of you watched it, which is insane. So thank you guys, as usual, for all the support you've given the channel on the flight sim content. So glad you guys enjoy it. Now the cockpit's looking very nice in here. We're starting to get to a point where it's like, I'm surprised that this is what it's like on the Xbox. You know, I mean, I'm glad we're getting to that point, as opposed to what we know the Xbox version was like when it first released. I mean, great draw distance going on, great details on the ground. The aircraft models are looking great, got the reflections going on, even without ray tracing, so at least you're still getting some reflections off the body of the aircraft. Very cool. Hardiman, no, I am not a pilot in real life, just all about flying in flight sim. I've been doing it for quite some time now and love it. Just a quick question, is it worth buying now? I mean, I would wait till Sim Update 3 releases, because right now this is just beta. But I mean, Sim Update 1 and 2 has brought great improvements as well. But I feel like Sim Update 3 is shaping up to be the biggest overall improvement, especially with the inclusion of downloading things to the sim, which is all in beta currently, so if you would buy it, you would have to join the beta program. But it's definitely miles above what it was when it originally released, for sure. Am I quiet? I hope not. Hang on. I didn't think I was, unless the Cessna is really loud now. Hold on, let me see. Alright, let's see what that sounds like now. Is that better? Apologies. You think after all these years of doing this I would have audio down, but it's just apparently never gonna happen. Was honestly kind of shocked they put in the downloadability. Great change overall, and I heard PC12 might actually work in SU3. Really? I mean, we can test that out again for sure. Absolutely. They've added some career mode planes on Marketplace too. Yeah, we were talking about that before. 3 of them are poorly rated, unfortunately. But there is a helicopter too. We'll probably dive into that after all this SU3 stuff dies down. Because in about over a week, I'll be gone for a week. So there won't be any live streams. But I do plan on getting pre-recorded content of Flight Sim going on. So you'll still have content while I'm gone. But there will be no live streams for about a week or so, starting next weekend. So just keep that in mind. But I'll definitely get some other stuff going. So I'll probably save the career mode aircraft for when I'm gone. We'll see though. Let's see here. I saw the Dreamliner in 747. What's going on? I mean, it is fun. I am waiting for the heavy cargo flights. Yeah, that'll be very nice for sure. You know when it will drop? It'll probably be late June, early July if we've have it, you know, if we're basing it off of how the other betas have gone. So that's kind of my guess. There's no definitive answer to it just yet. We'll see. A lot better, perfect. Enjoy your holiday. Is there a way to block MS scenery? I wish there was. No doubt about it. Because they're just... I wish Microsoft would just block them from the store completely and quit putting their stuff out there. Because everything that they put out is just horrendous. It's all poorly rated, it's poorly done, and it's just... There needs to be like a rule or something. If you constantly put out garbage products on the marketplace, you're going to get dropped from being able to put anything else on the marketplace, is the way I look at it. Because I don't think they have a single item on the marketplace that's over a 3-star rating. But to answer your question, no, you can't block certain developers on the marketplace. You should be able to, though. But no, it should be Asobo and Microsoft that are kind of controlling that and keeping up with what developers are putting out on the marketplace. I already have the Saab parked in my hangar. Nice. Yeah, it'll be really cool having heavy cargo missions. I'm hoping we're not too far away from it. It was originally supposed to come out with Sim Update 2. Maybe it'll be something that'll be released with Sim Update 2 in a random little update between now and Sim Update 3. But no definitive answer on that. Equivalent of Temu planes. Might just buy it now because in June or July I'm going to the Marines. Well, congratulations, Jasper. Very awesome. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's still it's much better than it was when it originally released. So you should still be getting a great experience out of it, especially before you get on over to the Marines there. But hey, at least when you come back, we're going to probably be in Sim Update 3 or 4 by then, and it'll be even better, so it'll all work out. Oh, I need to... Hang on, we already reached our altitude. Hitting all the wrong buttons. Yeah, I'm just trying to go to showcase camera, and here I am. Just sitting... I don't even know what altitude we're going for. I wasn't paying attention to what they were saying to me earlier, so we're going to just climb a bit more. We'll at least get to 10,000 as I keep hitting all the wrong buttons. Don't mind me. And one more heading change, and then we'll start climbing to our drop point. And let's see if they said anything about the altitude we were heading at. Nope, just the stuff that they were talking about there. I should have probably looked at the briefing, but guess who didn't do that? Because I don't think we have any details in the EFB specifically. No. We are wanting a 173 heading, though. Let's get that. No, that's not what I meant. No, don't do that. Go back. Turn it back around. Perfect. There we go. Everything's fine. Let's also get that mixture back, get a little bit of power in here since we are climbing a bit of a higher altitude. What's going on here? I'm now trying to buy the 737, have 25 million now, just earning it doing VIP missions with my CJ4. Very nice. Hi everyone, just 15% download of base game so far. Does it keep downloading when you're not in the game? I wouldn't leave, because anytime, even leaving the menu, it seemed to stop doing whatever it was doing and then kind of restarted. I would probably just leave it there, Steve. I have 350 mil left after buying a 737. Sold all my CJ4s. Oh, that's right. You bought all of them before they increased the price in SU2. Very nice. Well, we finally get the super heavy cargo missions in career mode. I'm hoping for it, Angel. Definitely hoping for it. It's still not here just yet. No heavy cargo or anything. We'll see. Another question I saw that at the other flight sim, there was a website where you could get every plane for free. Is there also a website for this sim to get everything for free? I don't know what you mean by that. Like just getting free planes from random developers? I mean, there's still websites out there that you can do that, for sure, if that's what we're talking about. Do the stutters disappear after installing instead of streaming? With the tests we were doing yesterday, because if you watch that stream, we went to LAX in a 737 with the streamed version. Then we installed the 737 in LAX airport. And for me, it looked like a huge difference between what we were getting streamed and what we were getting installed. It seemed like it was loading faster, and it just looked so much better, I think. I still have the issue on starting up the game that it refuses to load without doing the internet disconnect trick. Have you ever reinstalled the sim? Because I highly recommend doing that if you're having those types of issues, because that's definitely not something I've ever run into personally on either the PC or Xbox version. So I highly recommend reinstalling the sim. You won't lose any progress in your career mode or anything. That's all in the cloud, so definitely try that out. And absolutely, Steve, because, yeah, that's what I did. I installed the 205 gigabytes that I wanted from the base game and then other stuff too, and I just let that sit there as opposed to backing out of it. Because it seemed like anytime you backed out, it was just kind of doing whatever it wanted to do and not install anymore, so... Do we want to go further back in the mixture? Because we're kind of losing our power here. We're about to stall out here. Okay, that's not doing anything anymore. That's definitely not doing anything. I'm just at about 60%. I'll also bring down our vertical speed. Announced 2 minutes before jump via radio.
2 minutes, so Maya.
Bank to the left just a little bit to match up with the line we need to be at. You didn't do it on PC yet, just seemed like a hassle. It's actually pretty simple. I mean, there's nothing else to really... I mean, I guess it could be a bit different if you have a lot of third-party stuff, but if you're generally just a vanilla sim without having a lot of third-party stuff, it's relatively easy. I mean, I did that a few times during, you know, Sim Update 1's beta and all that, and got back in. So hopefully if you do end up doing that, it'll help alleviate that issue that you're running into there. Did this update fix any handling with tail wheels? I mean, we can dive into that. The next thing we'll test out is we'll dive into the PC-12 again to see if anything was resolved with the pressurization. I didn't see anything listed for it, but even when it was listed in Sim Update 2's changelog, it still wasn't fixed there. So we can definitely test that out for sure. And yeah, definitely try it, Hardiman. I mean, I'm hoping it'll end up fixing it for you. If not, that's going to be kind of annoying. Because, yeah, again, that's just something I've never seen personally. So, hopefully a reinstall will help you out on that. Oh, we're outside of Atlanta. I see KATL over here. Old Kilo Alpha Tango Lima. But no, I mean, look at the dials look great, and it's such a big improvement from what we experienced in the past with the Xbox version of the sim. But I've definitely noticed some great improvements to performance overall on PC and Xbox with this beta build. We were getting a bit of that from Sim Update 2 as well. So I mean, we're getting some great progress going on for sure. So we're 7.8 nautical miles out from Flight Plan 002. Which I guess is this. The best part about the skydiving missions is the end after they jump out. It's where you can have a little bit of fun going on. But we'll get to that once we are done with all this. I'm just hoping we're going to be at a good altitude here. Let's go up another 100 feet. Because we're still looking low. How do you get the Xbox beta, please? If you haven't been in the beta before, there's a new process. Hang on, let me get the link here. Give me a second. So if you're on Steam, you don't have to do this. I'm assuming it's like any other beta where you just change the launch of it or whatever in Steam. But if you're on Xbox or the Windows Store version of the sim, you need to go here and then do the survey or whatever, and then you'll get the Xbox Insider Hub app after that on both the PC or Xbox, and then that is how you will join the beta. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, I'm sure the link tells you more information about all that. Alright, perfect. And you're welcome, Ducky. Night flights at my local airport show new lighting and signage improvements. Nice. Very nice outdoors. I know a lot of people have been kind of disappointed with night flights, so I'm glad to see some improvements happening on that front. Well, everybody, it doesn't seem like we're going to be getting to the altitude you want, so be sure to open your parachute a little bit earlier. Okay, hang on. Perfect, and then a heading of 168. And then a speed of 72 knots, which I still feel like is really slow. But we'll do it. little bit of power in here. We're dipping below 72. There we go. Alright, allow the jump. Let's go.
Go. Claim the prize, folks. Go.
Time to say goodbye. Cowpoke. See you back at the ranch.
And there they go.
Cloud 9 Skydive Aviation, divers away.
Come back to the base, and our debrief will show you how you can do better.
Oh, whatever. That was a fantastic drop.
Your landing time today, dude.
Let's get back on to the ground here, which, trying to think where we're... Hang on. Let's try to do this without... I want the EFB open. Is it left bumper or right bumper this? No. Hang on. Is it left? No, that's the move that. Okay. We'll just do it this way then. Just want to see, we're landing on 1-4 again, I'm assuming? Yes, we are. Excellent, just wanted to find that out. And that's awesome, Hardiman, very nice. Good luck on your journey of becoming a real-life pilot. Try to get down relatively quick here. I don't know why my throttle's at such a high thing anyways. It's all the way idle on my peripheral here. Just waiting for the selection to give me a date to do the first test. That's awesome. Oh, very good luck to ya. Reinstall didn't do anything. That's really odd. Because, yeah, I've never heard that issue before. About having to disconnect the internet and then head back into it. There's our airport. Very good. It must be fun being a skydiving pilot. Especially doing those maneuvers with a Grand Caravan and all that. We're here a little earlier than I would want, but we should be able to bleed off this airspeed relatively quick. It's a long runway, so I'm not too worried about getting into the threshold right off the bat. But we might have to turn around because we are still pretty high up on the altitude. Yeah, we'll break off of this here, do a quick little spin, get rid of this remainder of our altitude.
Kilo Delta November November traffic. CTWN 32 Sierra Alpha Kilo 1611 is on final. Runway 14 to land.
I should have went further out just a little bit more, and then we would have been pretty much spot on for our landing. You try to beat the skydivers to the ground, then our wings will go ripping off on this Cessna. We'll just land with about a notch of flaps. Don't need too much. Too red over too white. Just love what the performance is like now in this sim on the Series X.
Awesome rotation. You optimize like crazy there.
Just let gravity do the work here. See if we get some improvements to how the hold short works instead of it always disappearing right as you get to it and all that. And Hardiman, nice. Hopefully that did actually work out.
Kilo Delta November November traffic. CTWN 32 Sierra Alpha Kilo 1611 is taxiing to parking. Kilo Delta November November traffic.
Oh, there we go. And thank you, Daniel. I just love general aviation planes. It's just, they're such a blast to fly. It really just depends on the specific airport. Like if it's, because was it a really close hold short or was it across an airport? Because it really all just depends on if it's a towered airport or something like that. I've seen the hold short at really tiny ones or dirt ones. What was that number in the background? Oh, that's a AI aircraft flying in career mode. November 539 Romeo. Because that's now back again as well, which is great. For career mode, you'll see AI air traffic, and there's a van in the way. That's alright, the wing should clip it. Never mind. It's alright, he's paying for it. Hey, real-time tech, welcome, welcome. And what's a fail? What's going on, Binky? Fairly close, it was on grass near a mountain. Yeah, it's just stuff like that is where I've seen it. If you get to bigger airports, it has the hold short less often for the helicopters now than it did before, because it was always wanting you to do that. So it should be less, but I'm sure there's still some improvements to be made some places. By the way, welcome to the stream, Binky. Welcome, welcome. I pretty much only play on the PC version, but I do know a lot of you want to see what the Xbox version's like and all that kind of stuff. So I mix between the two for content. It's not always just PC.
At the end of the day, it was a decent session. There's room for improvement, and the stats will tell the story, but it's fair enough.
This is still broke, though. The RB and hold down to shut down procedure does not work right. Because you can see it there. Maybe if we tap it really fast, maybe it's a quick time event. But yeah, if you just hold it, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. That's alright. Pretty easy to shut this thing down. Maybe that's why it doesn't work for the 172. It's just like, you just pull the mixture back and it's over. Really? 18% on the drop jumper's position. Weird. I don't care. It's still fun doing those. I don't really care what the score I get on those. It's just fun doing it. Downloaded everything in SU3 and then my throttle quadrant wouldn't show up. Interesting. It probably has nothing to do with the download stuff. I mean, it could be. I mean, it is a beta. Something might have been wrong with that. But I'd be surprised. Maybe it's just something. Because they did make some changes to peripherals on specific ones. So there might have been just a hiccup on that. Let's see here. I appreciate that, being an Xbox player. Absolutely, Adam. Yeah, I mean, I have the Series X, so I may as well dive into it from time to time, especially during these sim updates. Okay, what was some... Oh, yeah. Let's do a PC-12 test. Let's try this out again. Yep, because if you join the beta, you get all this stuff included. That's why we have $700 million. It's part of the beta profile. But I do love that hanger you get when you get the 737. But alright, let's dive back into the PC-12. I doubt anything's been fixed, but hey, you never know. Maybe now that it's not listed, it is fixed, and when it is listed, it's not. Or the PC-12. Did I say 6? I think I was saying 6. Just ignore what I was saying. And we'll do... Oh, does the cargo actually pop in here now? Let's find out. I'm going to change the livery, though. Hang on. We've seen that livery enough in career mode. Oh, there's only 2 liveries. Let's go for a white one. Just basic. Make it look really secretive. Oh, wait, we don't want to do this in free flight because then it doesn't matter. We don't get hypoxia. What am I doing? Oh, my goodness. We need to be in career for this anyways. Oh, I did say 12? Okay, I don't know why I thought I said 6 because I saw PC 6 there. I was like, did I say that? But yeah, this hangar space is awesome. It'd be cool to make it to where we talked about this before, where all the planes you own, you could have this little hangar you could walk around in, see all your aircraft, and then down the road, customize the liveries and all that. That would be pretty sweet. And you just hit X when you're in that aircraft select screen and you select the plane you want. On the bottom left it said configure. You hit X and then it'll bring that up. That's where you can change your tail number, all that. But let's see really quick. Let's do a PC-12 test again. It's weird, the PC-24 is gone from the Xbox version. I'm not sure why. But it is, so just keep that in mind. I'm not really too picky about what the mission is. We're not doing the full flight. We're just testing to see if anything pressurization has been fixed. We'll see. Only $1.2 million to transfer the aircraft. Fantastic. I wish they added specializations in one company rather than many companies, and you can also change the interior to cargo or passengers or whatever would make it so much easier. That would be pretty nice. I mean, I'm sure that type of stuff is coming down the road. I mean, this is just the first iteration of it. I'm sure there's going to be more in-depth things with the mission systems and maintaining your planes, hiring pilots and so forth. And then, of course, getting new mission types as well down the road. Small change. You're a billionaire in the beta. That's why I'm like, a couple $1 million to transfer the plane, that's no big deal. Nice load times again. I mean, we're already at a steady frame rate, even with things still popping in. Plane model again looks great. Very nice. Nope, not the left aileron. They still gotta do better with the walk around on a controller because it's very, like, the hit point, and when you do get it and you hit A, it still just kind of sits there. Get off. Please. There we go. Okay, we got it. It only took a few hundred clicks. By the way, if you want to check out the engine, there it is. Very cool. By the way, I'm so glad the TBM baggage door is no longer open after the cutscene. Thankfully. Still doing some weird tiles at airports, though.
Good afternoon, Captain.
And then once this boots up, we'll talk about what is supposed to be happening with this pressurization system.
Lafayette clearance delivery, CTWN-32 Papa Charlie Romeo, 8 tree, ready to copy IFR clearance to Lindbergh.
CTWN-32 Papa.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll help you out, or it'll kind of just fix itself, Binky.
Expect runway 22 left. Maintain flight.
Okay, so what we're going to do is pop open the EFB. Let's first of all update our location here. We're going to send the route to our avionics system. Route includes VFR pattern. Please note that VFR procedures are advisory only and cannot be synchronized with the avionics system. That's a new pop-up. Nice.
CTWN-32 Papa Charlie Romeo 8 tree. Acknowledge last transmission.
Yeah, I'm busy talking to chat, okay?
Cleared to Lindbergh as filed, runway 22 left, maintain flight level 30.
Oh, no, our first crash. Alright. Took 54 minutes for the first crash to appear. What we're going to do is we're going to dive back into the PC-12 and just see if that continues to be a common thread. Because if it keeps happening, then obviously something's glitchy with the PC-12. No doubt, Binky. No doubt. You know what's funny? Every time somebody brings up something that they want to see is when the sim crashes. But whenever I'm just doing my own thing, everything's fine. I don't know what it is about that. Just like yesterday. Oh, do the charts work? No, it crashes the sim. Oh, I think the PC-12 might be having some different fixes. Crash. This is just unbelievable. Yeah, but we're going to test it again. If it happens at the same point, then obviously something's wrong specifically with the aircraft. Which is why I always like doing it right after it happens, just to see if we can replicate it or if it was just a one-off incident. Load time getting into the Sims really quick as well. Very nice. See, it just, the sim wanted to showcase how fast it is to load into the sim. That's all. Oh no, Hardiman. And AJ, I've downloaded around 200 gigabytes of stuff on my Xbox. It takes around 2 to 3 minutes of loading just on the splash screen. I'm just trying to think of how it worked with 2020. Because obviously that wasn't all streamed either. Because I think it has to initialize stuff. And then of course when it was streamed, it didn't have to do all that. So that might be a side effect of downloading things. But then of course once you're inside of it, things should be loading in faster anyways after that initialization on boot up. Could be wrong on that, but I'll just have to keep doing some more tests on it because I haven't noticed really a difference on PC. I'll have to do some more tests on the Xbox side of things to see what's going on with it because everything here is streamed. I don't have any specific installations on this just yet. Alright, another, I don't know where we were, but we'll just pick another airport anyways, because that shouldn't matter. Yeah, once I'm inside, it's fast. Oh, good. At least it's not just slowing everything down. I was a bit worried about that. And FMJ, it's too late. I already blamed the audience. Because anytime there's an audience recommendation, the whole thing explodes. Let's see here. How's everyone else getting on? What is the consensus of opinion? My experience so far with Sim Update 3 has been fantastic. The only time the sim ever crashes is when I'm streaming. When I'm not streaming it, everything's been running really smoothly. Did some more tests with search and rescue. It is glitched with landing the helicopter to pick up people you're rescuing, but the hoist and fixed wing aircraft work normally. So just keep that in mind if you're in the beta, that search and rescue, landing the helicopter, and where that cutscene's gone, thankfully, is where it kind of glitches out. So what we're doing here is we're going to see if we can replicate that same crash, and if so, then obviously something with the boot up process of the PC-12 isn't getting along with the Xbox. But if we can get past it, then it was just some one-off experience. I don't know what the button is to skip the cutscene on controller, because it doesn't show a button, but you can skip those initial cutscenes now, if you wish. Oh great, here we are back to this again. Hang on. Let's just find the, like, centimeter point of the hit. Oh! I like how it pops up with it. And there we go. We got it. That was faster than last time. Fantastic.
Captain, we're ready. Can we start boarding?
Ground service. This is flight PCR-28, parking 7. Clear to start.
Court. I mean, the thing is with the download, I would just start with the main places you land, like, or where you fly. So if it's Europe or US, go for the world updates, city updates, focused around there. Get a couple planes that you really like to fly and just see how it goes from there, and then you can just add on from there. You don't have to get everything at once. You can kind of just build up your installation portfolio, if you will, from that, is kind of what I was doing. No, it has nothing to do with crouch, because with the mouse and all that, it's just, they need to make it to where the hitbox is larger for a controller. Because there's other stuff that's kind of out in the open that's kind of finicky as well. Alright, let's do the same thing we did. EFB, get the route to the avionics. Have ATC freak out at us.
Tango Echo X-ray as filed, runway tree 6. Maintain flight level tree 40. Departure frequency is 120.45.
Activate that. Great flight though, going to Telluride. But see, the plane's already doing what it's supposed to be doing. It put in the elevation of our destination, but we can make it go lower if we want to. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to set our own destination elevation to about 5,000 feet. So we'll just do 5,017, that's fine for now. Not too picky about it. We're also going to put it into low cab mode the whole time. And we'll just see what happens. We'll go from that. I'll be surprised if there were any fixes for it. I'm going to be honest.
Taxiing, hold short runway, tree 6 via taxiway Alpha. CTWN 32 Papa Charlie Romeo 28.
We didn't crash this time, so that's a good sign.
Dear passengers, welcome on board flight PCR 28 with service from Telluride to Telluride. We'll be shortly in line for takeoff. Please fasten your seatbelts.
That's an error now. Hello everybody, we're taking off from Telluride and also flying to Telluride at the same time. Welcome to Telluride.
Personal electronic devices, including laptops and cell phones, to airplane mode. This is a non-smoking flight. Thank you for choosing Radiant Airways. Enjoy your flight.
So still got to do a little bit of work on the dialogue that's going on there, because now they're just saying the wrong things with destination and so forth.
We need to reduce our taxi speed down to adapted standards, Captain.
Oh, co-pilot, I know what I'm doing, thank you. Nor do I care. Cool, thanks, and thanks for streaming Xbox on, or the 24, or, I don't know what. Thanks for streaming the sim on Xbox. No problem at all. Because, I mean, I've done it with manual mode, I've done it with just whatever the plane automatically sets to and all that, and it always does the hypoxia. So we'll just see what it's like, but again, I'll be surprised if anything's been tweaked. Does that actually crash it? If the wipers are on? Here, we'll turn on the wipers before we get hypoxia, and then we'll just end it like that. I'll have to look at what ATC was saying for altitude because I wasn't paying attention to him. And yes, ATC has been improved both audio-wise as well as them knowing about ILS and all that kind of stuff too. Same with IFR, VFR differences. So there's been a lot of improvements regarding that, which is really nice to see. But yep, somebody was landing there. Great to see AI traffic again on the Xbox version in career mode. Because I know that was gone for a little bit I believe during Sim Update 2's beta. You loaded into the sim? Very nice. Still don't know why it was so long, though, but at least you got in eventually. Hopefully everybody loves the clicking of my brake button on my Thrustmaster HOTUS one. Hey! Oh, shoot, hang on. I forgot. I don't have the keyboard connected. There we go. I was like, why are we still rolling?
CTWN 32 Papa Charlie Romeo 28, altimeter tree 00 tree. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 6. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 6, CTWN 32 Papa Charlie Romeo 28.
And also, if a runway is 36 left or whatever, they'll actually say left. They won't say L or R anymore, which is really nice. I'll just go 200 knots for now.
Dear passengers, welcome on board this flight to Telluride. I'm First Officer Jessica Elliott, and I'm here to ensure you have an enjoyable flight.
Jessica? Why is my pilot named Jessica? Or is that supposed to be the co-pilot actually talking?
To fasten your seatbelt, and that this is a non-smoking flight. You'll find a safety briefing card in the seat pocket in front of you. Prepare for takeoff. Thank you.
V1, rotate.
Oh, sorry. Pulled back a little too much there. I feel like her V1 callout was a little early there. Oh, why is that not my gear button? Excuse me. Oh! Hold up. Hold up, hold up. That's not my button still. Hang on. That's some... They changed that. I'm pretty sure that's my reverse button for whatever reason. Hold up. We have a button change on my Thrustmaster, because that's definitely not supposed to be that. Hold the phone, everybody. How do I get up to that list? No, where's the cursor at? Am I supposed to have a cursor? How does one get to the search input button? Because, yeah, that's not my gear button. Alright, I'll just do it from inside the cockpit. Heading, we'll just set to current heading currently, and just get that into autopilot.
20.45. Good day.
Yeah, good day. A little busy.
120.45, CTWN 32 Papa Charlie Romeo 28. Atlanta Center, CTWN 32 Papa Charlie Romeo 28. At 2,500 climbing.
Are you okay? What are you doing, plane?
Charlie Romeo 28. Atlanta Center, altimeter tree 00 tree. Radar contact, continue.
We good now? Why are you freaking out on me like this? What was that? Goodness. Clouds are glitching in this dark light mode here. Yeah, we don't need that aggressive of an incline here. My heading's all messed up now. Oh, hang on. That was my bad. That wasn't the plane's fault that time. Oh, heading's off. That's why we're just spinning in circles. It's go ahead and talk to our passengers really quick. Hello, everybody. It appears, I mean, it may seem like the plane was kind of out of control there, and you were correct on that assumption. The autopilot was trying to cause issues, but we do have it under control, apparently, even though it does look like we're kind of stalling almost. Oh, no, we're good. Okay, we're fine. But yeah, other than that, enjoy the rest of the flight. Everything's fine. Too bad I can't close the curtain. They don't need to see up here. Again, we're way too aggressive on this ascent here, please. What has happened? What is auto throttle doing now? You know what, auto throttle? I don't like you. You're trying to cause mayhem. I want you to do it ourselves here. Alright, now everything seems to be somewhat under control. Until the next 30 seconds happen. Get her heading to the left. Get nav mode on so we can follow the flight plan. Let's check what this is doing. So currently right now we have 700 feet per minute on cabin rate increase. It should level out once we get to our 5,000 foot elevation that we have set manually. But what ends up happening is once you get to about 22,000 feet, it just does whatever it wants to do and raises it to about 9,840-ish. And then that's when the issues start arising again. So we'll see if it stays where I want it to. And we've kept low cab mode on the whole time and just do a little test on it. By the way, my heading is still not where I want it to be. Oh, that's why. It's barely moving. I'm sitting here thinking it's doing a lot. Oh, it's... There we go. It's very slow. Alright. That way we'll intercept our lovely flight plan. And once we do, it'll pop out of heading mode and go into navigation mode and follow our lovely flight plan to Telluride, even though we're not going to be flying all the way over there, because that'll be a long flight, and I don't want the whole flight to be that. But I'm sure we'll get hypoxia anyways, so we got that to look forward to. But yeah, I don't know what auto throttle was doing there. It was just kind of like, oh, you want to be at 220 knots? Well, too bad. Let's go 80. Appreciate it. Oh, also, let's toggle that on. And then just see what happens. Is this one of my favorite planes? No. It is not. That's a tie between, I mean, for general aviation, the InSim one, the Cessna Corvallis. Third party, the Coronado Beechcraft F-33A. That thing is excellent. Really hope that gets some career support. And so I said the PC-24, the Cessna Corvallis, the F-33A third party, and I do love my Cessna Sky Courier as well. But the PC-12, I've never been that interested in it. Even with the issue with the pressurization, it's definitely not. I like the TBM 930 more than the PC-12. Hello, ma'am, are you enjoying the flight? Be like, I'm never flying this airline again. But clouds are looking really cool. Got the dual layers going. Get the nice satellite imagery. You like the CJ4 Envision jet? I like the CJ4 more when they get... We'll test it out, actually, because I haven't messed with it a little bit. I'm interested to see if they've optimize that plane a bit, because it even is terribly optimized on PC. So I definitely want to dive into that again once we see how this all goes. Let's go ahead and pop back up over here. So see, it's great. Everything's fantastic. It got to the elevation we manually put in. Our cabin altitude pressure is at 5,010 feet, or equivalent to that, while we're cruising at, what are we at now? 13,000 feet. But the issue arises once you get about to 22,000 feet, this just kind of does whatever it wants to do and then caps out at the limit of it. And then there's really not much else you can do. So we'll see if that happens again or not. But yeah, this whole screen here is about the pressurization and oxygen and so forth. Because this elevation here is what we set manually. You can also set it to the elevation of Telluride, but that's about 9,000 feet. So I have it a little bit lower. And then cabin altitude, this is what it actually is showing equivalent to regarding, you know, pressure and all that. And then cab rate only moves feet per minute whenever you're... So if you're higher than that and you want to lower it, it'll go down and up. And we'll just kind of see what happens once we reach that 22,000 mark, if it does whatever it wants to do again, or if it'll actually do what it's supposed to do. By optimize, I mean, it sucks at airports when you load in, terrible frame rates, it takes a while for it to load. Once you're in the air, it's fine, but then when you get back to an airport where you're landing, then the frame rate drops again. That's like the major plane that has that issue. So that's what I'm talking about by that. We won't know about the hypoxia thing till about maybe 20 more minutes from now. It'll be a little bit. We'll see if we get that warning or not. And Ducky, Airbus A320 V2, do you like that one? I mean, I'm not really too much of a fan of the Airbuses just because of how AnyBuilds focuses those planes on people that have all of the peripherals and setups for them. Because if you just use like a Thrustmaster HOTUS 1 and you don't have all those detents and everything, it can be kind of a pain flying those. So I don't have much experience with them. We've flown them a few times, but they're just not a very fun thing to experience without all of those other things for flying them. But, you know, that's great that you don't have to flip through the buttons again for it to fully shut down. That's awesome to hear. So, yeah, we'll dive in the CJ4 after this, just to see what's going on. "17,000 feet. Still holding at our cabin altitude that we want. That is way too fast still. Excuse me. It's at 14 too. They still need to change the way this works. Or instead of it being numbered, be just specific, like cinematic, so it goes nice and slow and smooth, or normal, fast, stuff like that, instead of it being numbered. I think that would be better for this whole settings thing there. Because the only way I like it is if it's at like 1, 2, 3, or 4. Anything higher than that is just way too fast. The camera still doesn't move based off little inputs on the triggers, which is disappointing. You have to fully depress it and move it. It's not like that on PC, but I don't know why it's not like that on Xbox as well. So would still love to see some changes on that. Alright, how are we doing in here? 20,000 feet. Still holding at what we want. Very nice. We'll see if that continues. Let's see here. Xbox as in Xbox app PC or the game box Xbox? Xbox. If it was PC, I wouldn't have anything listed. It's a Series X. Yes, understood about Airbus and controllers needed like thrust mass. Yeah, it's just that's why I don't have any interest with it. I mean, I'm hoping any builds will eventually add something that makes it easier for people that don't want to spend thousands of dollars on peripheral. It's like, I just want to have a fun time flying your airliner. Just like with the 737, you don't have to deal with all that. It's just a simplified version of it for the cheaper peripherals. I'm more of a helicopter guy myself. One thing I noticed, at least I couldn't find it was available. Bandwidth too low. I don't know why that keeps popping up. Because that's wrong. I got gigabit speeds, thank you. Now go away. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, can't find the Cabri G2 helicopter wasn't available to download. Interesting. And the clouds do look nice. I agree, Ducky. These are about, I think, medium preset equivalent on PC. But no, it looks really cool, especially that extra layer above the lower layer of clouds. Very cool. Alright, so 22,000 feet. Let's see if this is climbing. And it is. See, now it's going back to what it always... It does this once you reach that. And now it won't stop until it gets to about that 9,000 feet range, and then you'll just run into the hypoxia issue again anyways. It just ignores whatever you have set, and that's it. Let's just do this. Just dump it. See if that helps. You would normally use that for emergency situations, but may as well just click something else and see what happens. But yep, right as you get to about 21,000, 22,000 feet, that happens every single time, no matter what you have set in the cockpit. Why that is, I have no idea, but we'll just continue on. I'm sure the hypoxia warning will be popping up here pretty shortly. Yeah, because, I mean, the reason that's glitching things out when you install everything from Sim Update 3 and going back to Sim Update 2, because the sim doesn't support any of that yet, currently. So that's why you'll end up running into issues. So I highly recommend, if you plan on installing things, that you're planning on staying for the long run throughout the entire beta process and into Sim Update 3. If you plan on jumping back and forth, you definitely aren't wanting to install stuff because, like I was saying, the live build of the sim now doesn't have any support for installation stuff, so that's why you're going to be running into some issues with that. So if you haven't gotten to the beta just yet, keep that in mind for sure. But yeah, that's where the issue still happens, because it just ignores whatever you're wanting to do with this system and goes back up to the number of where the error pops, or not error, but just that. It's Wilds, welcome to the stream. There's 4 aircraft available for career. 3 are poorly rated, 1 from Any Builds, 1 from I forgot who else, and then another one from whoever else that was. There's a helicopter available that's very highly rated. The only thing that's a bit disappointing is the only missions that are available for them are ferry flights or flight seeing. That's it. So there's nothing crazy for them just yet, but they are there. But as for in the sim itself, for what were you asking? Medium cargo, light, medium, and charter. For charter, love the Cessna Corvallis, the Beechcraft Bonanza. We have the Cessna Sky Courier, the Grand Caravan's fun. I think there's a lot less wind you have to deal with nowadays, which makes it a lot more enjoyable. And of course the PC-24 is a great one for medium cargo, probably the best one for that mission type, because you'll be able to complete missions really quick. I mean, TBM 930 is a great one for charter flights, and then same with the CJ4 as well. So I mean, there's a lot of them that I like for sure. Oh, we must have reached our flight path, because we are now off of heading mode, and we've intercepted the magenta line. Oh, is there actually... It says there was traffic right there, but apparently not, because I'm not seeing their name there. Because now it'll just go up to about 9,400, I believe, and then it'll just sit there, and if you want to change it or lower it or do anything with it, it doesn't... It just ignores you at this point. It's kind of like, no, you're going to get hypoxia, and that's that. So if you want to use this plane, just stay below 18,000 feet, then you don't have to worry about it. But since we're doing this for testing purposes, we'll just see if it pops up, which I'm sure it will. No doubt about it. Because this is where it just sits at, and if you ever want to change anything, Mitch just doesn't care.
Charlie Romeo, 28 contact Atlanta Center on 132.25. Good day.
Oops. I didn't realize we were at our altitude here.
2.25, CTWN 32 Papa, Charlie Romeo 28.
Speed.
Atlanta Center, CTWN 32 Papa, Charlie Romeo 28 is at flight level 290, climbing flight level 340.
CTWN 32 Papa, Charlie Romeo
If you're still in the beta, you have to bail out of the beta and then go from that. But then if you do, there's a different process. That's the link that's pinned in the comments or in the chat. You do that little survey there, and then that's how you'll get back into Sim Update 3's beta. But yeah, if you haven't gotten the beta just yet, you'll have to unregister out of it. And Tatsu, yes, you can go wherever you wish to go in the world. It's a full recreation. It isn't a smaller version of it. It is real size Earth. Good luck, Binky. They're still labeling it as by design, but we'll check that out too at some point, because it just doesn't make any sense. I was getting comments that's like, well, pilots always look at what airports they're getting. Well, pilots get mission, or, you know, cargo or whatever they're doing for airports that make sense. They're not getting something that's a 20-foot runway for a PC-24 and all that type of stuff, so it's just... Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. But water runways are gone now, so that's one less thing we have to worry about. You will not be getting water airports for your PC-24 or anything like that anymore. Are you using the Steam version? Yeah, I don't know. I don't have that version, so I'm not sure how that all works on that. But I'm sure somebody may be able to help who's on Steam. I love the Corvallis. I restarted my career after I got my joystick and throttle. If I save enough, am I able to skip light cargo and go straight to medium cargo? No, because I'm pretty sure the requirement to get medium cargo is by doing specific... I'll have to look again. I haven't messed with the specializations in forever, so we'll look at that. Yeah, we'll give it about maybe 3 more minutes and we'll probably get the warning for it. Just had a mission with the 172 that was too short to take off. It was like a sidewalk. Absolutely crazy. Well, that's by design. Apparently.
CTWN 32, Papa, Charlie Romeo 28. Please expedite your climb flight level tree 40.
Oh, am I not setting the... it doesn't matter. But yeah, if it was truly by design, then every mission type would have it. It's literally medium cargo missions, and I think a little bit of medevac that really has those issues. Every other mission type, you know, passenger transport, you're getting these long runways and never have any issues with that. But when you go into medium cargo, it's kind of hit or miss. So... But yeah, we'll definitely check that out, Wilds, once we get Hypoxia here in the next couple minutes. I've said this before, but I just don't understand why they don't just get rid of that system for now until they can figure out what's going on with his aircraft, because... To be completely honest with you, I don't really care about having those types of systems in here. Oh, hang on, let me change my barometer here. Oh, this isn't even showing the I can't even change it. What? There we go. You just have to hit A again. Perfect. Because, yeah, you're definitely never going to see me do a flight that's this long. Because I think this flight is still going for a short little... Oh, hang on. There we go. 5 hours. I just could never do these long flights on a stream. It's boring for me, and I feel like it's just going to be boring for viewers. Just this view the whole time. So once we get the Hypoxia, we're going to dive into some other stuff here, so don't worry. We're not just doing this the whole time. James, hello. I don't really use Career after you stopped last night. I completed a bunch of downloads on Xbox, Vegas, New York City, etc., and it was stutter-free and looked great. Amazing. That's awesome, James. I'm so glad to hear that you guys are having those better performances and experiences after installing stuff. That's awesome. Because I'm assuming that's what was going to happen once the downloadability was going to be a thing, and I'm glad that that's the outcome that is happening already. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to winter again, you just want to make sure that you're flying certain planes that do have de-icing capabilities. So, like, if you're flying a Cessna 172 in the middle of a winter, especially up in the north part of the U.S. or into Canada, you're going to have a lot of icing issues. But, I mean, if you fly stuff like the PC-12 here, which, there we go, this will actually have the boots, where it'll pop the ice off. It kind of inflates little rows of whatever you really want to call it. I mean, I guess they're really called boots. But yeah, that's stuff you have to really keep in mind, especially when winter does roll around and you're in career mode, is to dive into planes that are made to fly in those conditions. I've been up to 20 airports with runways sometimes 1/3 the length of its real-world counterpart, and half as wide. Problem is, the satellite image is still visible. I mean, yeah, you're going to get a lot of that from like the smaller airports and so forth, that the sim is just basing off the information from satellite imagery. That's just how it's going to be for probably a while. I mean, there's a lot of airports in the world, so it's bound to happen. But the thing that's the issue with it is, you know, it gives you missions like with the PC-24. I did a whole video talking about this, and the runway is over 1,000 feet less than what their minimum requirement is for the aircraft, and it's just odd to me. I'm really hoping they kind of go back on that by design thing.
Charlie Romeo 28. Please expedite your climb flight level tree 40.
Did they just say 340? I can't go to 34,000 feet. I'm pretty sure the ceiling on this is a 30,000 ceiling for the PC-20 or PC-12. Yeah. Because that's what they told me, right? I wasn't really listening. I heard 3.4. Yeah, they want me to go to 34,000 in a plant. So they still need to work on that, though, with ATC. They're giving you cruise altitudes unrealistic for the aircraft you're flying. But who knows? That may be by design like the short runways. You never know. And then somebody's going to comment, well, that's what a real pilot would do, is they would make sure that they have a plane that goes to that ceiling level, even though it's not your fault, because ATC's wanting you to do that. I can't get to 340, you moron. Please, leave me alone. Oh, can I not? Oh, there's got to be something else here. Do I just do this? No? Does this scroll? Yeah, that scrolls. Okay. Oh, here, just do that. Leave me alone. Oh. There we go.
Center, CTWN32 Papa Charlie Romeo 28. Request flight level tree 00.
And thank you, Wilds, but yes, JLM, the Xbox Series X.
Charlie Romeo 28. Climb and maintain flight level tree 00.
Climb and maintain flight level tree
We just
00.
passed 18,000 feet.
CTWN 32 Papa Charlie Romeo.
What in the world? What did you just say? We passed 18,000 feet?
05. Good day.
What the heck was that call out just now? I couldn't hear it because everybody was talking over each other. I don't know what's happening. I think people are getting some hypoxia in this cockpit.
CTWN 32 Papa Charlie Romeo 28. Did you copy?
Nope, sure didn't.
Going to one tree.
That's what happens when everybody's talking over each other. Please.
2 Papa Charlie Romeo 28. Atlanta Center.
The ceilings are not accurate. Oh, let me see.
Romeo 28 is
Let me
passing
look
flight
online.
level 290, climbing flight level
What
00.
is the ceiling
CTWN 32 Papa
for
Charlie Romeo
PC-12?
28. Atlanta Center.
30,000 feet.
Continue to Nogi.
So it's correct.
Atlanta Center, CEWN 32 Papa Charlie Romeo 28. Request flight level 290.
CWN 32 Papa Charlie Romeo 28. Maintain present altitude.
Maintain present altitude. CEWN
Getting some little frame drops here and there for whatever reason. I'm surprised that wasn't happening earlier. But we're good. Just a couple little hiccups there. Hey, Simulator Man. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to everybody else as well. Hopefully you're having a fantastic weekend. Is the Marketplace Cessna 182Q worth buying? I would recommend, if I may, the Coronado F-33A. That thing is fantastic. Love it. My favorite third-party add-on I've purchased so far. I can show it off here a little bit if you want to see what it looks like and sounds like. I mean, we'll do group flights whenever a simulator or a sim update isn't in beta, because it doesn't seem like many people are, so I don't bother doing it. So if we're ever in a long extended period of an actual sim that's release build, that way everybody can join from PC and Xbox, but in beta I don't really do them. Yeah, as FMJ said, it's about 500 gigabytes for me. It can differ depending on how many third-party things you've purchased. But yeah, about 500 gig. For sure. But alright, Wilds, we'll do that. And Roy, thanks for subscribing. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream enough to do that. Welcome, welcome. Because we did group flights in the past, but that's when, you know, we didn't have Sim Update 1 for months after the release. But yeah, it's just doing it in beta is kind of pointless, since not everybody's in the beta. Because then what's going to happen is if I do a group flight, then there's going to be people in chat saying I don't see you, and then I'll say, are you in the beta? Then they'll say no, and then I'll be like, see, that's why I don't want to do this, and then, you know, it'll just be a whole thing. Oh, man. We did not die yet, no, but it's coming, don't worry. It always gives you false hope. It's like, oh, maybe it is working, and then it'll pop up here. And yes, Wilds, the Coronado F33A Bonanza. Love that thing. I haven't flown it yet on the Xbox, so I'm interested to see what it's like. We're flying the PC-12, seeing if any hypoxia starts popping in here. And yeah, that's both downloaded and installed. Because the install part after you download is just getting it into the sim and then it's there. So yeah, that's all of it combined. Will they release an offline patch? Probably not, because 2020 you couldn't fly offline really anyways, right? Because it would still kind of... I mean, I guess you could. Everything would just die off. You know, the Bing imagery and 3D photogrammic. I mean, they might still do that. I don't know. I don't even know the last time I ever ran out of internet. Or had internet go down. So far, JLM, I mean, this is what it's been doing the whole time. Been nice and smooth, nothing crazy going on, and all that. I mean, if you click on individual things, it'll tell you how much it is. Obviously, it'll be different. Some of it's below a gigabyte, others are up to 8 gigabytes, and so forth. All just depends on what you're installing. But nice, Wilds, very nice. But yeah, I love the Beechcrafts. We're going to be getting Piper into the sim here shortly as well, officially. Which is going to be really awesome to have some Cherokees going on and all that.
CTWN 32 Papa, Charlie Romeo 28, Atlanta Center. Radar contact. Continue to Nogi.
Nogi? Just love the detail that you can still get even though we're at 29,000 feet on the Xbox. Like, you can still make out details now down below. Because when this first released, I mean, it was just a nightmare on Xbox. It just wasn't fun ever. And now we're finally getting to that point where it's just like, hey, I can actually have a good time on the Xbox version of the sim. Gotta run again, have fun. SU3 is awesome. I'm glad you brought it to our attention yesterday. Absolutely, James. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by. I hope they add a chief at some point. My dad had when I was growing up. I would pay good money to fly one in career mode. Yeah, I mean, it'll be just awesome having Pipers. I'm really much looking forward to it. And where is the CJ3 still in testing? I don't know what we're talking about. Is that an add-on? Is that what we're talking about? Because I'm confused. Because if we're talking like third-party stuff, I don't really pay much attention to that, so I'm not the person to ask regarding release dates for it. So, I don't want to get my hopes up, but what's going on here? We don't have a hypoxia warning yet? I feel like we would have run into it already. This is kind of exciting. But again, I'm not gonna jump the gun just yet. But I mean, how long have we been flying at 29,000 feet here? We were climbing to the 9,000 cabin altitude that it went to since about 20 minutes ago. We're already at 29,000 there. So we got to 20, yeah, about 20 minutes ago, okay. So we're 20 minutes in at 29,000. And we haven't gotten a hypoxia warning yet. Could it be?
WN32 Papa, Charlie Romeo 28, contact Memphis Center on 127.1. Good day.
Good day.
127.1, CTWN 32 Papa, Charlie Romeo 28. Memphis Center, CTWN 32 Papa, Charlie Romeo 28, flight level 290.
CTWN 32 Papa, Charlie Romeo 28, Memphis Center. Radar contact. Continue to Nogi.
It can, but the problem with the plane since release is the fact that the pressurization system wasn't ever working properly. That's what we're testing. And Full Life Adventures, do you think this will be the same on PC? Absolutely. I mean, if you're on Sim Update 3's beta, you'll be having the same experience for sure. But again, maybe we're just on the brink of it popping up. We'll see. By the way, we don't have any of our lights on. Very good. Not that it matters. Couldn't tell the difference anyways. If it goes for a bit longer, we'll just set up a sim rate so we can go a little bit faster just to kind of see. Well, no, I do want to test it real time just to see. You know, I wonder, it shouldn't work this way, but once this was going up, I flipped this and got out of auto and just dumped the cabin pressure. I don't know if there's just a weird glitch that kind of circumvents that issue. Because I'm wondering if that's why we haven't seen that happen yet. Maybe it just confuses the simulation as to what it's supposed to be doing by flipping that. Danny, I don't know. We'll have to check that out. That would be really funny, though. Maybe we discovered a workaround for it. Which makes no sense because, again, you wouldn't be using the dump feature unless it's an emergency or something like that. Yeah, so far everything's not freaking out. Which is hilarious. So, okay, what we're going to do is... Ah, crap. Let me plug the keyboard in here. Because I want to see with SimRate if anything happens throughout this flight. Because I don't necessarily want to sit here the whole time on a 5-hour flight to find out. Alright. So let me see. Oh, the button should be the same. We'll see. We'll find out really quick if it is or not. It appears that they're not the same. Alright. I'm going to plug in the mouse really quick because I don't feel like moving through the control menus with a controller right now. Is this my mouse cable? What is this? Yes. Alright. Okay, the keyboard and mouse aren't doing anything. I think you always have to plug it in and plug it back out for it to register for whatever reason. Okay, the keyboard's working, but my mouse isn't. I got no mouse. Mouse, where are you? Oh. Is it because of the... Oh, okay, here, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully the mouse issue isn't back again. It might just need a reboot on the sim itself for it to register it. But yeah, I'm not getting a mouse, so good. Thanks for nothing, mouse. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. And let's see. I still don't know why I don't have a cursor here. Oh, it goes up there. Not needing that. Maybe under settings it'll go to it. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Because I want to... Is it miscellaneous? Yeah, I don't know how anybody changes the input. Because there's no way to get out of this menu and you're stuck over here. Oh, crap. There we go. Goodness gracious. Sim rate. Oh, it's Alt-R. But I want other buttons for this. No. Oh, God. It's such a pain navigating on this. Validate. Go back. This is why a PC menu should not be the same UI as... Okay, there we go. We're back out of here now. Okay, jeez. Oh my goodness. Alright, so decrease. I hope that's the right button, because that's definitely not what I don't know what that's even saying, but... Oh, it's just not showing the icon. Okay, we're good. That's fine. I know what's going on now. Alright, let's sim rate it and see what's going on. Because, I mean, we've already been flying for a while here, so I'm thinking that dump of pressure, for whatever reason, is a workaround for the hypoxia issue. I'll have to do some more testing with it without doing that and see if the same thing happens now.
Southwest.
Climb and maintain flight level 370. Southwest 209er.
I still don't know how people use sim rate without the planes freaking out like that. Because every time I use it, it just goes into a dolphin mode.
CTWN. 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 CTWN 32 Papa, Charlie Romeo.
128.5.
Alright, see you later, ROI. And yeah, there's probably not going to be any group flights for a while.
Radar contact. Continue to BRFF.
I don't use sim rate, so I'm not too worried about having specific things set up for it. I'm just using it now because I'm not going to sit here for 5 hours.
CTWN 30. 134.4. CTWN 32. Charlie Romeo 28.
CTWN 32 Papa.
But yeah, I think the dump of pressure is
Contact. Continue to BRFF.
the workaround right now. Because we would have had it by now. Like, it would have already ended. That's awesome. But again, I'm going to do some more testing just to see if it's been fixed overall, or if it's only because we did that dump of the pressure once this was going up again down here on the middle screen.
CTWN 30.
Because, I mean, like I said, we would have already gotten the warning.
CTWN 32 Papa. Charlie Romeo 28.
That's awesome. So there we go.
Contact.
We have a bit of a workaround, it appears. But again, I'll do some more testing with that later. We've already been hanging out on here for way too goddamn long, so we're going to bail out of that. Alright. Can't wait for that fully to be fixed. But, cool. At least we have some way of just not dealing with it. An odd way of working around it, but again, I'll test that later off screen. We spent too much time on the PC-12. We've spent too much time on that plane in general at this point. So, let's see what's going on here. Aircraft model. Just want to see what the citation's doing on the Xbox. Actually, it looks like it's not even here. Oh no, is it? Yeah, oh, it's hiding here, that's why. There it is. And let's just see how it's doing. Like, if it has terrible frame rates the whole time it's on the ground, or if it's been improved. We'll see. But yes, what I did is, because I had the cabin altitude set to 5,000 feet for the pressure, and then once you get to about 22,000 feet, the computer just does whatever it wants to do at that point, bringing it up to 9,000. Once it started doing that, I dumped the pressure instead of, because it's set to auto, I just said dump, and then after that it seemed like it wasn't freaking it out anymore for whatever reason that may be. But yeah. I'll still do some more testing on that, just not on stream, because I've done way too much stuff with that plane that's on the screen right now. Okay, pretty fast load time on that, not too bad. But the test will be on the ground here. And sorry to hear that, Binky. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, I'll probably make a specific video over the PC-12 just to kind of talk about it, and then that way I can edit out all the long haul crap. Because I don't like doing those long flights on a stream, it's just boring. Well, loaded in pretty fast, frame rate not too bad, that's nice to see. So maybe some, oh, I say that. We'll see what happens once we get into the cockpit. A lot of citations around here. Let it all load on in. Because I would love to see this thing perform better. There's a lot of airport missing here, though. Unless it just hasn't loaded in, but it's got some jetways going on. And what airport is this?
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I think this is Kansas City's, right? I want to... Again, hitboxes are just ridiculous. Okay, I couldn't be more centered on KM's, and it still just wants to be a jerk. KMCI is Kansas City International Airport. Fantastic. Thanks for nothing, EFB. Unbelievable. Like, just please. But that's what I'm talking about. They just need to improve the hitboxes with the cursor and just everything with the Xbox controller.
Kansas City clearance delivery. CTWN-32 Romeo Alpha Whiskey 71 ready to copy IFR clearance to Lebanon. CTWN-32 Romeo Alpha Whiskey 71 is cleared to Lebanon Airport as filed. Expect runway 1 left. Maintain flight level 330.
Still not great frame rates in it though. It's still choppy. But I mean, it still seems better than it was, but still needs some improvements. I've noticed this too, where planes go full throttle for whatever reason, even when everything's set to idle. I've been noticing that a lot lately.
CTWN-32 Romeo Alpha Whiskey 71. CTWN-32 Romeo Alpha Whiskey 71. Read back correct. Contact ground on 118.575. Good day.
I have... It's frozen?
Hello, everyone. Please give your warmest
Screens are
welcome
off.
to our passenger, Madam Bird. Her trip has been paid for by one of our top clients. The service must be impeccable. Have a nice trip.
Ground. CTWN-32.
So yeah, hopefully this demonstrates what I was talking about with the CJ4.
IFR.
CTWN-32 Romeo Alpha Whiskey 71. Taxi to and hold short of runway 1 left using taxiway Delta Alpha. Contact tower on 125.75 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 1 left using taxiway Delta Alpha. CTWN-32 Romeo Alpha Whiskey
Well.
71.
I don't think I'm getting those screens back. Nope. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's some stuff that needs to be worked on with that CJ4, no doubt. So, there's that. Now, everybody knows what I was talking about. But I'll showcase the Bonanza really quick. My favorite third-party aircraft so far. I think I have it on here. There it is. Oh, and then somebody was asking about that too. So again, like I was saying, if you're in the aircraft list and you pick the plane you want, on the bottom left it says configure. You hit that, and then that'll bring you to the menu where you can change the livery, the variation of it, add fuel, whatever, and then do your tail number, call sign, all that going on. So that's how that's done, in case you're wondering. Oh, I don't have Colorado Springs installed here. Okay. Well, here, we'll just do a little airport anyways. Don't have to do anything too crazy. Just gonna do a little flight. Still does that though. I'm interested to see if it does it when I have installed stuff. I'm gonna do that after this stream's done. See what's going on with that.
Alpha Kilo Oscar traffic. CDWN 32 Romeo Alpha Whiskey 71. Taking off runway 29er.
But anyways, this is the Coronado F-33A. What a plane. Love it. Put that over there. Oh, crap. I can't show it because I don't have a button for it yet. I need to change that since apparently... Well, here, let's see if it actually works on this one. Nope. I don't know what that does, but I think it just shuts... I don't know why they changed that. Why would you ever want that button to just shut everything off? But okay, let me do that from in here. But it's just an awesome plane. It looks great. The dials and the instrument panel. The seating back here. Just love it. Does it carry over my time with this? Oh no, it's different on Xbox. Okay. And no, that's the only downside for now. It's not usable in career mode. Hopefully it'll eventually get that support as well. But you're welcome, Wilds, and I agree. I love the steam gauges. I love those more than the boring glass cockpit aircraft. I mean, we fly them from time to time, but nothing beats this. It's just so much more enjoyable to look at. All the different dials and instruments, instead of having 3 monitors stuck to a instrument panel. That's why I typically don't fly those types of planes too often. Slow down a little bit more here. Well, actually, we can bring those gears down. Oh, crap, I forgot. Hang on, I don't have the gear button. Man, I don't know why they changed that. That's annoying. I was like, why is it still complaining to put the gears down? And oh, that's right. I don't have support for that. Now I have to do all these weird things, and My camera button, man, they changed a lot on my Xbox side of things. Why do I have no control? What is happening? What have they done to my control? I don't know what I hit now, but now I don't have any throttle. Okay. Asobo, why did you change my buttons? I don't like this. Because now my plane's just shut. It's not... Great. Ruining my showcase, Sim. I don't know what I hit. I must have hit something that just shut off the engine, I guess. I don't know. They've completely switched my button layouts on my Thrustmaster for some reason. Asobo, I gotta be honest, if there's one thing I don't want you to do anymore is changing peripheral settings for some reason. Because I saw that in the changelog and I was a bit worried about it, and now I see why I was worried about it, because it's ridiculous. And now I'm interested to see what in the world these buttons are tied to here. Toggle thrust, reverse, world map, and aircraft selection. Great, okay. Don't want any of that. What is this? Spoilers. What in the world's going on here? There's so much crap that I don't want on all this. And that's landing gear now. Oh, I'm gonna have to go through this and change some things because that is not how I want this set up. So I'm gonna be working on that. But anyway, sorry for the crap showcase. I did a whole video over it as well a couple weeks ago if you want to see more great landings that aren't affected by changed keybinds, because that was ridiculous. But yeah, so hopefully that gave you a good understanding. It's a great plane. That wasn't the plane's fault. I'm just so thrown off by what buttons they have preset now all of a sudden. So with that being said, oh, I guess one more thing I want to show too is to answer your question about medium cargo. Let me check that out real quick, and then we'll wrap things on up for today. Which, again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream, diving into the Xbox Series X version of the sim. I think there's great improvement happening on the Xbox side of things, finally. So yeah, in order to unlock Cargo Transport Light, you need the CPL, perform airplane missions with landing smoothness 50% or above, and C and above. And then to get to medium, you need level 25, you need the instrument rating, you need the turboprop rating, perform flights with full ATC procedures, and perform cargo airplane missions. So you will need a certain amount of these missions completed before you can get to the medium ones, of course. But if you want all that information, it's always going to be under the specialization tab in career mode. That's where you'll get most of your information about what you need to complete in order to get these other companies unlocked. So there we go, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a fantastic stream. I'm going to figure out why my Thrustmaster settings are completely backwards, but we're good. So again, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.